Welcome back to my new video. This video is going to be a long video. So take your time, go through the video every episode, and that is going to help you to understand what is going on. So we're going to be building orders microservice with Python and Kafka, as well as other subsidiary tools or frameworks like Helm, Docker, Minikube, Kubernetes. Okay, so if you look at the architectural diagram, you can see blue-green on the left and red on the right. So those are our services. So we have the order service, notification service, transaction service, and analytics service. Okay, so we are going to be starting with the orders service, and this orders is going to produce some message to this Kafka cluster, and we're going to call that topic that orders is going to produce to us order details topic. And once that happens, transaction service is going to consume from that order details topic. And once that transaction is processed, it's going to write back the message to order processed topic. And analytics service is going to consume that message and process it internally. And that will end the process. And also, notification service is also going to consume that same message and then do something with it and then produce some message, but that is not going to lead to anywhere. We are just going to be printing that message to the console. If we want to do anything with that notification service, we're going to produce that message to actual email addresses. Okay. And then the analytics service is also not going anywhere because we are not pushing the processed message to, let's say, a dashboard or a database or something. So that will end the process at that point. So we have 4 service Kafka cluster, and both doing their internal processing. And we also can use a Kafka UI to visualize our Kafka cluster if we want to. I just put it there because maybe along the way we might want to look at how our Kafka cluster is in terms of a graphical user interface. So that is the basic architecture. So if you go to Google, you can go to this page to install Minikube. It's easy to install. You go through the process, you select the operating system and all that, and then install it. So that is for the Minikube. The Helm also, helm.sh, you go to their website, maybe you get started, and it's going to show you how to install Helm. Okay, it's also easy to install. We are not going to do it in this video. Also Kubernetes, if you don't have, let's say, kubectl, you can go through this page, and it's going to show you how you can install the kubectl, okay, or kubectl, as some people will call it, and you install that. And also, if you don't have access to Docker, we are going to be using Docker containers. We're going to package our application into Docker containers. So if you don't have Docker, I'll encourage you to get Docker running on your local machine. And And as well as we're going to be using K9S. It's a Kubernetes CLI management tool. So if you don't have it, you can also come here and follow the process to install K9S. I think it's very straightforward to install. You see, you have Brew install this on Linux and on Windows. So just go through the process and have it installed. Yeah, so I think that is, and also the Kafka UI, we came to GitHub, is an open source project. You can look for this GitHub repo, and then you look at the documentation, say UI for Apache Kafka. It's lightweight. I think that is all for now in terms of the tools that we are going to be needing to. So if I click on this chart, it's going to give me the instruction how to install the Kafka UI using hem, and then you can expose the port this way. Okay, so I think that is all for the tools. So I hope you get the concept, what we are trying to do here. So if I want to start, I'm going to start with the blue, which is the order service. Okay. So I'm currently going to be using PyCharm, and I've created a directory here called Python Kafka Micro YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to create a new directory, which I'm going to call orders hyphen service. Okay, let me just call it order service. Once I do that, I'm going to create some files. The first one, I'm going to call it order underscore svc. And then the next file that I'm going to create is I'm also going to create a Docker file, which is going to be empty. And then the last thing that I'm going to add to that folder is going to be new requirements.txt file. So that is going to be empty. Requirements.txt. Okay, so that is that. So with the requirement, what we need here is we only need Kafka -Python, and then we also need Faker Python library. So if you go to Google, you can just Google for Kafka -Python. You see, so this is the documentation. Once you click on it, it's going to tell you how you can install it. Okay. It's going to tell you how to install it. Pip install Kafka -Python. And it's going to also give you information on the Kafka consumer as well as the Kafka producer. Okay. So very simple. And the Faker is just a library to generate fake data. So that is also very straightforward. So let's get started. Let's start coding. So I'm going to import some few libraries. I'm going to start with the JSON, import JSON. I'm also going to import time, import UUID. Going to also import login. Also going to import faker, import random, and from date, time, import date, time. And also the one that we are most interested is there is a producer, okay, the Kafka producer. So we're going to say from Kafka import Kafka producer. Okay, that is what we are going to select for this case. And once we do that, this lesson in particular, I'm not teaching Kafka, but if you want me to teach into details how you can use Kafka and all that, why Kafka and all that, yes, I can do separate video on it. But if you still don't get what Kafka does and what it is, I think there are other videos out there or online documentations out there that you can quickly read on, just to recap. So I'm also going to import login .basic config, and then I'm going to pass in the level. The level is also going to be login.info. Okay. Once you do that, we are going to create we're going to create topic. Okay. Let me put it this way. Create Kafka topic. And we're going to call it order Kafka topic. Topic is equal to order details topic as the name of our topic. And at this point, we're going to start with some limits on our data, how many data points we want to generate. So we're going to say order limit is, let's say, 15. Okay, that's the limit we want to impose on our orders. And we're going to create the data generator, the fake data generator function. Okay, so I'm going to say def create orders. Okay, so once we do that, we're going to call the faker dot faker class. And then we're going to create a dictionary of data points. Okay, so we're going to say oh my goodness. We're going to say orders is equal to dict. Okay, an empty dictionary. And then we're going to start with the order ID, which we're going to encapsulate through the string method. And then we're going to say UUID. It's going to generate a random unique ID, which we're going to say UUID4.UUID4. Okay, so that is done. And then we're also going to generate a user name for this order. So we're going to call it username is equal to f dot user underscore name. Okay. And the next one we're going to generate is the first name, f dot first name, last name is equal to f dot last name. The next one is going to be the email, okay, of the order, f dot email. So the next one we're going to generate, it's going to be the quantity. Quantity is equal to int. And then we're going to generate some random numbers. Okay. So we're going to say random dot run int. And this number we're going to generate between 1 to 999. Okay. So that is our quantity generator. And also we're going to generate some price. Okay. And we're going to say we're going to round this. It's a price, so we're going to round it to 2 decimal places. And then we're going to say float. We're going to turn it into a float. And then we're going to call the random the uniform, and then we pass in some values. Let's say 10.5 100.99. Okay. And the last thing we're going to look at is the date time. The date time this order was created. So it's going to be date time dot UTC now. Okay. So once we do all this, all we need to do finally is to return orders. Okay. Orders. Okay. So I'm going to call this function and say create orders. And let's see what data point we're going to generate from this. Let me format this. Okay. So I'm going to run this. Okay, we didn't see it because I need to print what is in there. Okay, so let me rerun it again. Okay, so as you can see, this is the dictionary containing this key value pair. You see the order ID is this long string, the username, the first name, the last name, the email randomly generated, the quantity, the price, and then the date time this order was generated. Okay, so this is the orders that we're going to be sending to the Kafka topic called order details. Okay, so this is what we are going to be sending to the topic. So let me take it out for now. We don't need it. So my next thing is to create a Kafka producer. Okay. So I can put the Kafka producer at the top here. Yeah, let me put it here. I'm going to call it producer is equal to Kafka producer. Then we're going to pass in the bootstrap. Bootstrap underscore service. And I'm going to pass in a long string, which I'm going to show you how you can get that going forward. But for now, just accept it. In the subsequent videos, you'll see why we're using this long string and where we got it from. Okay, so what is happening here is the first one here, Kafka local, is the name of the Helm installation, and others-microservice is going to be our namespace in Kubernetes, and the port on which our Kafka cluster or our Kafka server is going to run on is 9092. These are all configurations that came with Kafka. You can change them as you want, but for now, let's stick to this bootstrap server. Okay, so now what we are going to do next is to log some information to the console info, and then we're going to just print generating orders. Okay, and we're going to create a for loop. So we're going to say for order in range, we're going to pass in the order limit, and then we're going to say the data we are sending to the Kafka topic is what? Create orders function, and then we're going to call the producer. So this is where we send orders to Kafka topic. Okay, so we're going to say producer dot send. Okay, so that is the function we are going to use, send. And what are we sending to? We are sending to a topic. So we're going to say order Kafka topic. And what are we sending? The value. Okay, and the value we need to encode it. So we're going to call json.dumps. Okay, json.dumps, and then we dump the data, and then now we encode that data. Okay, so we're going to say dot encode. Okay, so we're going to encode that data to UTF-8, and that is it. So we're going to log another info and say we are done creating order I, and then we try to pass in the data that we just sent. And once we do that, we can sleep for a second before sending. Okay, so let's pass in the order, sorry. So now we can sleep for a second, we sleep for 1 second, and then continue the process until this limit is reached. So basically, this is our order service. So with the Docker file, I have it already created, so I'm just going to paste it in and highlight some few information for you. So I'm going to paste it in. And so this is our Docker file. Okay. So this is the command that we are running, order_service.py. And then we are creating this work. Okay, we are using this base image, creating a work directory called app, copy that requirements.txt to this location. And then we pip install whatever is in the requirements.txt, everything here. And then we copy all the files that are in the order service folder to this directory. And then we run this order service.py. So basically that is our Docker image. Okay. So we are not going to run this service for now. We're gonna, create the Kafka cluster and everything before we try running this. So basically that is it for now. So once we create all the services, so now we're done producing to this other details topic. We need to create the rest of the services. Then I'll show you how to run the entire application. But before we even do that, I'm going to prepare the Kafka cluster before we can do that running of all the services. Okay, so thanks for watching this first part of the video. I'll see you in the next one.